in the process of getting to know them. I very much enjoy sending a card to each child when I know that they have secured a place here at school and saying welcome.
I watched downstairs, but
I was slightly nervous, but the teachers at Archer made that easier for me. We had induction days, we had a dance and drama day, just loads of different things to help us settle in. So by the time we started, we knew quite a few people.
We had like loads of different days, and we tried different lessons with different teachers and maybe some of our teachers that we have now. Over the summer we got an English challenge, a maths challenge, and write a postcard to Miss Harrison, the head teacher. Did you find it challenging?
Well, it was challenging, but in like a good way. So not the teachers, they stretch you to your own ability.
Yeah.
They stretch you as hard as you can go.
Remove your space helmet very gently and step into the abyss.
All the teachers want you to be able to do what you want best, like your favourite thing, or like they're trying to, or if you don't know it, then they help you find what you like to do and what you find fun.
I came from a primary school where I was the only one from the Archer Academy. I came with one friend, and I've made like a whole new community of friends now.
We're also a very small school for a secondary school, and that's a joy. We only have 150 children in a year group, we have 25 children in a class, and we invest a great deal of time from the outset at transition in getting to know them and getting to know their parents. I don't think you can ever underestimate quality time with a child or quality time with a parent, and the difference that makes that person feeling valued. We teach a wonderful unit on Guernica, where they look at the Spanish Civil War, but they look at it from a variety of different subject perspectives and produce work that covers all of those different subject skills.
J'aime les films d'action ou les films d'horreur? Excellent.
So we both do French, and at the start of year 7 you either get allocated French or Spanish, and aside from that, if you want to, there's loads of additional language courses like Latin and Mandarin,
Italian,
things like that, yeah.
Every half term we are committed to a Bright Ideas lecture.
The Microsoft person came in and started
that one as well.
talking about computer engineering and what it's about and how it works.
Yeah, it gives you a wider knowledge of all the different career choices that there are, and it gives you a better idea of how things work in the real world, how computer engineering works and stuff like that.
Love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again.
At the moment in PE we're doing handball, and it's actually really fun. It's like football but with your hands basically. It's really good.
I play netball, football, cricket, athletics. Yeah, we're both on the athletics team, yeah.
And cricket team.
Yeah, and cricket team, which is good, yeah. I play a lot of sports.
I'm in the football team, so obviously with the new AstroTurf pitch this year, we have brilliant facilities to train for football, so we train once or twice a week and we can really practice. So we're prepared when we play matches, kind of once a fortnight. So yeah, there's a much wider scope to do different sports because of all the new facilities that we've got this year.
And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain.
Enrichment is every Tuesday and Thursday you finish school a bit early to pursue extracurricular activities. It's all free and it can be anything from Muay Thai boxing to dance and drama. It's really an amazing opportunity.
We go around at the enrichment fair, which is a big showcase of all the different activities that are available for enrichment, and then you like take part in them and look at them and then think what you want to do. And it's really great, because otherwise if you were just looking at the names on a sheet you could read what you do but you'd never really experience it until you join.
Last time I did the Arch Players for the summer showcase, and I also did the Debating Society, where each week we chose a different We chose different subjects and we talked about it and debated.
I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain.
So as soon as a family know that they have secured a place with us at school, we begin the process of getting to know them. I very much enjoy sending a card to each child when I know that they have secured a place here at school and saying welcome.
I was slightly nervous, but the teachers at Archer made that easier for me. We had induction days, we had a dance and drama day, just loads of different things to help us settle in. So by the time we started, we knew quite a few people.
We had like loads of different days, and we tried different lessons with different teachers and maybe some of our teachers that we have now. Over the summer we got an English challenge, a maths challenge, and write a postcard to Miss Harrison, the head teacher. Did you find it challenging?
Well, it was challenging, but in like a good way. So not the teachers, they stretch you to your own ability.
Yeah.
They stretch you as hard as you can go.
Remove your space helmet very gently and step into the abyss.
All the teachers want you to be able to do what you want best, like your favourite thing, or like they're trying to, or if you don't know it, then they help you find what you like to do and what you find fun.
I came from a primary school where I was the only one from the Archer Academy. I came with one friend, and I've made like a whole new community of friends now.
We're also a very small school for a secondary school, and that's a joy. We only have 150 children in a year group, we have 25 children in a class, and we invest a great deal of time from the outset at transition in getting to know them and getting to know their parents. I don't think you can ever underestimate quality time with a child or quality time with a parent, and the difference that makes that person feeling valued. We teach a wonderful unit on Guernica, where they look at the Spanish Civil War, but they look at it from a variety of different subject perspectives and produce work that covers all of those different subject skills.
J'aime les films d'action ou les films d'horreur? Excellent.
So we both do French, and at the start of year 7 you either get allocated French or Spanish, and aside from that, if you want to, there's loads of additional language courses like Latin and Mandarin,
Italian,
things like that. Yeah.
Every half term we are committed to a Bright Ideas lecture.
The Microsoft person came in and started
that one as well.
talking about computer engineering and what it's about and how it works.
Yeah, it gives you a wider knowledge of all the different career choices that there are, and it gives you a better idea of how things work in the real world, how computer engineering works and stuff like that.
Love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again.
At the moment in PE we're doing handball, and it's actually really fun. It's like football but with your hands basically. It's really good.
I play netball, football, cricket, athletics. Yeah, we're both on the athletics team. Yeah.
And cricket team.
Yeah, and cricket team, which is good. Yeah, I play a lot of sports.
I'm in the football team, so obviously with the new AstroTurf pitch this year, we have brilliant facilities to train for football. So we train once or twice a week, and we can really practice. So we're prepared when we play matches, kind of once a fortnight. So yeah, there's a much wider scope to do different sports because of all the new facilities that we've got this year.
And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I I can still hear you saying you.
Good evening and welcome to the Archer Academy's live and virtual Open Evening 2020. My name is Amber Martin and I'm the head of lower school here at Archer. We are delighted to welcome you to our school community this evening. Whilst this year our Open Evening is a virtual event, we feel confident that it will give you a good feeling of what life as an Archer is like. A school that will demand a lot from your child whilst ensuring that they are well supported along the way. I hope that throughout this evening, you will capture the ambition and commitment of our whole community to make this school a fun, happy and exciting place to learn, whilst ensuring that your child works hard. So what's on the programme for this evening? Over the course of the next 45 minutes, we're going to take you on a virtual tour of our school. You will meet some of the key people that shape our happy school and get a chance to hear from the experts, our fantastic students, and our head teacher, Miss Harrison. Before we get going with the tour, let me tell you a little bit about me and my role at the Archer. As the head of lower school, I'm responsible for overseeing all students in years 7 to 9 to ensure that each child is safe, happy, thriving in their learning, and realises their full academic potential. As a future Archer or parent, you would start to get to know me as part of our Year 6 to 7 transition programme that takes place during the course of Year 6. If you're watching tonight as a future Year 7 Archer, I wonder how many of you might feel a bit nervous and giddy at the thought of going to secondary school. Well, that, I can assure you, is very normal. Now, let's imagine that you've got a place at the Archer. What can you expect to happen next? Well, we would invite you to Archer as much as possible so that we can start building relationships, us getting to know you and you getting to know us. And this might include coming to a taster lesson with one of our specialist teachers. For example, trying science in a science lab or dance in our studio. A transition interview would take place with myself or the head of Year 7. You would be given a login to the VIP zone, an online portal exclusively for Year 6 students joining Archer, where you read lots of helpful information and can even start accessing points and winning awards by completing tasks and quizzes. You will be asked to complete a summer challenge. Earlier, I told you that we would work your child hard, and they will be challenged from the outset. The summer challenge is a piece of English work that your child will complete in line with our community literacy project over the summer holidays. So, as I hope you can see, at the Archer, we are deeply committed to making the start to your journey with us a supportive and collaborative process, one where you and your child are able to familiarise yourselves with how we do things here at Archer. Now, I will be back a little bit later to pose some of your questions to our panel, but now I'm going to hand over to the head of Year 7, Miss Ogbasalese.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adiam Ogbasalese and I am the head of Year 7 here at the Archer Academy. It gives me great pleasure to introduce myself and share more details about the role that I will play should you choose this school as the right secondary pathway for your child. As head of year, I am often asked what my vision is for our students. In a nutshell, I would say that it is quite simple. Learning should always go beyond the classroom. As an ambitious and creative school, academic success here is a given, and you will hear more about this over the course of the evening. My primary area of responsibility centres around looking after your child. This involves overseeing their attainment and progress in all subject areas. My role focuses on considering where, how, and why students are excelling and celebrating these successes. Equally important is the role that I play in identifying areas where students need further support and inspiring interventions to help unlock their potential. At the Archer Academy, the approach we take is a collaborative one. I work closely with all teaching staff and the SEN department to ensure that adults have a shared understanding of your child's needs. I also work with an experienced team of tutors who will guide your child through their Archer journeys. Early on, students meet their tutors through the VIP zone and at various induction events, such as summer school and our transition workshops. Through such opportunities, tutors will get to know your child well ahead of their September start. Consequently, when our students arrive, they begin their archery adventures with a sense of confidence, enabling them to have a flying start. You may be thinking, what does Year 7 look like at the Archery Academy, and what distinguishes it from other schools? Here, students experience a rich curriculum. There is thematic learning, where students explore topics such as philosophy, and working in partnership with local bookstores, they have the opportunity to produce their own children's books. We also have our community literacy project, which enables the jump from Key Stage 2 to 3 in a seemingly familiar way. Our focus on extracurricular activities is something that you will have already noticed, and I imagine is something that has piqued your interest. As a school, we believe that learning takes place both inside and outside the usual classroom structure. Within their first term, Year 7s will have completed a 3-day stay at Kingswood. This is an Archer tradition, one that focuses on risk-taking, developing resilience, team building skills, and building friendships. Also within this time frame, you will have had 3 meetings with your child's form tutor at events such as Settling In Evening and Learning Review Day. As you will see, our school is very much about student success. It has been wonderful to meet you this evening, and it now gives me great pleasure to hand over to our head teacher, Miss Harrison.
Thank you so much, Adiam. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my absolute pleasure to be able to welcome you to explore our school this evening as you prepare to make some important decisions for you and your child's secondary education. We, as the adults, know what a crucial decision this is, as the right secondary education does secure a child's future. We live in complex and uncertain times. Never in my headship could I imagine a point where I might close a school for a period of time, or where my Year 11 students or Year 13 students may not take their formal exams. But amongst these challenges, some things do very much remain the same. The opportunity for you as parents to explore your choice of secondary schools so that you can make the right decision for them. A place where they will be happy, where the teachers care and teach to the highest standards, where they will make lifelong friends and experience a vast range of opportunities that will set them up for their future lives, with every door open to them. As head teacher of the Archer Academy, I believe that I have the very best job in the world. It is my greatest privilege to lead this joyful, thriving, ambitious community. I take this privilege very seriously, and am simply so proud of all that my staff and my students have achieved and secured. We have, quite simply, over the past 8 years, built a community. It has been a special and unique experience, and something that continues to flourish, going from strength to strength. We were thrilled in July last year to be graded by Ofsted as outstanding in all areas. Such a significant accomplishment for any school, a badge that we wanted, that we knew we deserved, the gold standard for any school. But we are so much more than that badge. We are a community that puts its students and its staff first. It recognises the huge importance of relationships working together in a shared spirit where nothing but the best will do. For it is these relationships, high standards and unwavering determination that has enabled our students to achieve so much already. Our GCSE results, just one marker of a school's success, have seen us confidently placed in the top 10% of all state schools nationally for the past 3 years, with students consistently securing the very best grades. This year, for example, almost half of all grades were judged at 7 or higher, with almost a third of students securing at least one grade 9. And this has been a consistent pattern. These results are because of our students' hard work, but also the excellence and commitment of their teachers, but also because of the rich and varied curriculum that they benefit from. One where they have genuine choice and opportunity to secure those personalised pathways that work for them, play to their strengths, interests and curiosities, enable them to become the scholars with a passion for learning that sets them up for life. A curriculum that is grounded in traditional academic subjects, where English, math, the sciences, humanities and foreign languages are prioritised, but one also where the creative, visual and performance arts, the social sciences, sports and vocational subjects are given equality in access. We know that ensuring a strong foundation in the core means that our students can explore their learning so much more richly, with so much more depth. We are proud to offer subjects such as further maths, economics, psychology at GCSE, not common in all schools, but also by the number of classes of art, dance, music and drama that we run. This is then seen in the accomplishment of our students as they move to their post-16 education. We work in partnership with Woodhouse College and Barnet and Southgate College, both excellent providers of post-16 education. This means that our students receive priorities admissions, and as long as they meet the entrance criteria, are guaranteed a place. Essentially, this means that our students are at the front of the queue. And when Woodhouse received over 4,000 applications for its 600 places this year, you can see just how fortunate our students are. The vast majority of Archers transition to Woodhouse, over 60% of them in the last couple of years, making this very much a third transition point for our students. But our young people do, of course, choose other destinations, such as King's College Maths School, Highgate, the Ada Lovelace Technology College, UCS, and also Barnet and Southgate College, which continues to be incredibly popular, and the London Screen Academy as well. This year saw our pioneer year group complete their A-levels, our first cohort heading off to university, ready to spread the Archer way far and wide. With 4 students securing Oxbridge applications and others going to institutions from Glasgow to Nottingham, Leicester to Bristol, we are simply so proud of them. We look forward to celebrating and basking in their continued success, their ambitious futures ahead of them, where I know that they will achieve great things. But how do we do this? It's about being a value-driven school, where each child is treated as an individual. Our values are encapsulated in our Archer way, the standards and behaviours that we expect of one another. They are shared and held in mutually high regard across staff and students. They are achievement, respect, curiosity, hard work, achievement, responsibility, the things that are pivotal as benchmarks for how we approach our challenges, but also simply how we treat one another. It is this strong sense of community and shared values that enable our young people to feel so confident and so happy, therefore making the excellent academic progress that they do. This is all encapsulated in our very simple school rule of work hard and be nice to people. It resonates, doesn't it? It's its simplicity that makes it so powerful. I truly believe that if a young person is happy and feels safe, they will learn. This is achieved through a culture of excellence, high expectations, a shared language of resilience, and a high value being placed on enjoyment. Yes, fun. It should never be underestimated. It's important. That is why here at school, our enrichment curriculum provided on 2 afternoons a week is so crucial. A space to take risks, try new things and enjoy ourselves. It's compulsory, but not a hardship, and its impact is immeasurable. From pottery to rock climbing, debate society to orchestra, there is so much scope to enrich the everyday and the breadth of skills and interests our young people have. For me, I want our Archers, my Archers, to be accomplished and to always be the most interesting person in the room. Someone who is kind and considerate, passionate and committed to their own success, but also that of their wider community. The curriculum and enrichment are essential here, but it's also that wider provision of trips, workshops, student leadership, student societies, the wraparound provision of the form tutor. All of this enables our school to be exciting, interesting and stimulating, to be enjoyed. And as a result, the endless opportunities become possible. The journey is narrated for us through our Archer Graduate Framework, and this is brought to life through the physical design of our school. We are a campus school with students beginning their Archer journey at Lower School in years 7 to 9. That means that at Lower School, the oldest child is just 14. It secures a lively, comfortable learning environment, which builds perfectly from primary school as our young people establish themselves. That, of course, is further reinforced by the small size of our school, with classes capped at just 27, the smallest state school average in Barnet. Every child is noticed. We know one another well. Then, at the end of year 9, students graduate to the upper school, our GCSE centre, a more focused, mature environment generating greater independence. It's the physical design of our school that enables a roadmap in front of them with core landmarks and shared experiences for them to aspire towards and to celebrate. School closure in the physical sense was a challenge for all schools. For me, I simply missed the rhythms of daily life, the lunch queues, popping into lessons, having a chat with my students. But it was because of these shared values and ambitions that I believe that the strong relationships and high standards, we have come through this period as a thriving community, where our students have returned to school so confidently and our curriculum has remained on track. So what does our school offer you and your child? A track record of success, yes. Our results, our Ofsted inspection, our destinations all prove that. And that is essential for you. You want a school where your child will pass exams, but also one where your child's happiness and well-being takes centre stage. I hope you're going to see that shortly in the film that we're going to show you. And when you meet my head girl, Rosie, and head boy, Harry, I hope you'll see and feel how alive we are, that we focus on the bigger picture. Because happy children, and surely that is your number one priority for your child, can achieve anything. I said that I believe I have the best job in the world, but this school is more than my job. I love it as my home. It is my all-consuming project, and I am so proud to know my students well, to notice their achievements and their small, everyday triumphs. I'm delighted to teach my own classes, despite the eyebrows that it raises from my head teacher colleagues. But I know that by being in the classroom myself, I'm expecting no more of my staff than I do of myself. Secretly, it may also be amongst some of my favourite times of the week. I thoroughly enjoy the time I spend with my students, with my regular cultural society trips, something that I thoroughly treasure and relish. But also simply popping into their lessons, sharing a celebratory head teacher lunch or afternoon tea, or just having a chat in the playground. A sense of this came to me once again just last week. I received a postcard from a student who has just started year 12. We have a system at school where we send postcards to students to celebrate their achievements. And the postcard simply said this: Miss Harrison, I've loved my first week at Woodhouse. Thank you for all of your support. I wondered if anyone had ever sent you a postcard, so I thought I would. Izzy. How kind. How thoughtful. I can't put a measure on this, but it does represent a lot of what we stand for here. A family-like community who know one another well, who have the same shared, bold ambitions. That is why I have the best job in the world. Now I'm going to hand over to a short film that we have prepared for you. Our hope is that that will bring life to school a little bit more, that you can see some of the things that myself and my colleagues have talked about in action, a glimmer behind the doors of the school. We will then move over to answering your questions. Thank you so much.
I was having a bit of a think about how we would explain what it means to be an archer to somebody who isn't part of our community. I wonder how we might do that. And I wonder if you might be able to do it better than me. So, Susanna, could you start me off? What does it mean to be an archer?
To be an archer, it means to be really respectful of other people, but also to follow the archer way and always try our hardest and be resilient and respectful and just always trying your best, I think, is a very important thing being an archer.
To be an archer means to be part of the community throughout the years and to follow all the archer outcomes and to be the best person you can be.
Wonderful. Tatum, is there anything you'd add in terms of what it means to be an archer?
I'd probably say having a good balance of sharing your own ideas and also listening to your peers' ideas, because we like to focus on including everyone here, which is really important.
And as you've been at Archer now, we're into your third year, although we missed it last year, didn't we? What would you say a normal day and a normal week is like at Archer? Ash, what would you say?
Well, it's a place where you get to try lots of different things and subjects which you enjoy, and when it's really good because when you come to year 9, you get to choose your own and make more decisions of your own choices.
Could you tell me a little bit about why year 9 is a bit different?
Well, you could choose to drop certain subjects that you don't enjoy and take more of certain subjects. Like I've chosen to take more of dance and drama, so they're now double lessons for me. Which is really...
And are you enjoying that bit more personalisation?
Your day is a lot of lessons with fun activities, and then at breaks and lunch you can talk with friends and have fun.
It's really fun, and it's a really fun day. At the end of the day, you go home with a smile on your face.
Oh, wonderful. What about you, Rudy? What would you say a typical day or week is like?
I think a week is really interesting because it varies a lot, and we have lots of different and exclusive things at Archer, like babysittingship or in year 7 and 8 thematics. So you'll learn about a wide variety of things, and all the lessons are really interesting and planned really well.
Oh, good, I am pleased. What about thematic learning? What is that? Because that only happens at the Archer Academy,
So
doesn't it?
thematic learning, which you do in year 7 and 8, it's about different topics that are going on in the world, and current stuff or past things that you might not learn about in a normal maths or English lesson. So maybe like the environment or politics, things like that, which are really interesting.
Wonderful. Did you have a favourite topic that you studied during thematic learning?
Right now, citizenship, which carries on, and you kind of do in year 9. We're going to study nuclear weapons and kind of how that affects the world, so I'm looking forward to that.
And Sam, if we're then thinking about some of the experiences you've had so far at school, what would be some of your favourite experiences or memories so far that you have of your time at school?
I really enjoy the enrichments programme because it allowed us to do stuff that we had really chosen to do because we enjoyed doing that, or wanted to try doing stuff.
Well, you can give me an example of something you've been doing in enrichment.
So I did Archer Media with Mr. Carter, which was filmmaking. So I got to learn loads of new skills about storyboarding and filming.
Wonderful.
In year 7 we went to the Kingswood, and I think that was a really nice experience because I guess we got to make a few more friends, and I think that was when everyone just started becoming more comfortable with each other, and it was just really fun, all the activities that we did.
Good. Lots of team building. Yeah, wonderful.
It would probably be Thor Park, going to Thor Park with my friends because, I've been there before, but now I went there with my friends, and I think it's just better with friends. Yeah.
And did you do that as part of the thematic project on designing the theme park?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So it was a kind of really fun treat at the end of a big project that you've done very well at.
Yeah, because we designed our theme park and then we actually got to go to one at the end. So yeah, that was really nice.
So could you describe to me, Alicia, how does enrichment happen? What is it?
So I would say enrichment is a club that you do after school but in school, and you get to choose what subject you'd like to do. So say you could do cooking, or you could do martial arts, and you get to do it with your friends, and so that's really nice, and it's just a bit of extra stuff that you can do, which is very nice.
Wonderful. So these are sort of clubs and activities, but you have to do them.
Yeah,
but they're fun.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not bad.
It's not a bad thing to have to do. No, okay.
So the way you actually pick your enrichment is you have a list, and then you have 5 choices. So you put first is the one you most want, and 5 is your other options. So you normally always get 1 And then I think just make sure when you look at the list, try something new each time if you can, but just make sure that you're enjoying it.
Lucia, what would you say are the big differences between primary school and secondary school?
I would say that there's a lot more freedom, as you know, you get to choose some of your subjects, and also you make a lot more friends and you help out in the community, and then you have more responsibility, which can be quite nice sometimes. So yeah, I would say it's a good big step up, but you enjoy it.
Try everything that's going to come your way, and you're going to be challenged at Archer. But you're gonna try everything and just respect others.
Well, I think enjoy your time at school, because I know as a year 9 it doesn't last forever in terms of all the fun stuff in year 7, and I think take every opportunity and take risks, and it will be worth it.
You say?
I would say that you should not be afraid to speak to people and make friends as soon as you start, so that you have them all along your 5 years, I think, of Archer.
So jump in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you, Jacob? What would you say?
My advice is to stay calm, because everything is going to be all right. The teachers will guide you, so...
Archer life has been so nice and easy to get into the transition.
Well, I do hope that you have been enjoying seeing a snapshot of our school in action. We are now going to post some of your questions to our panel. Thank you so much to everybody who's contributed to that. Please note that we have grouped some of the questions together where they've been similar to cover as much as possible. So sitting on the panel with me, I have Miss Harrison, our head teacher, Miss Ogbasalese, our head of year 7, Rosie Gordon, head girl, and Harry Hayward, head boy. Now, I've got an excellent first question here, and something that I get asked a lot, particularly by year 6 children. So I'm going to ask you, Harry, to answer this one. I want you to really think back to year 7, and how easy did you find it to make friends, and how did school support you with that?
Well, for me personally, I came from a school where only one other person came to Archer with me. So it was really important for me to make friends. And right from when I was told I was coming to Archer, I was invited to taster sessions, CPA days, induction days. And as soon as I started school for real and being an Archer student, a lot of my lessons were done in my form, so I could get to know everyone a lot better. But as well as that, sorry, my light's just gone off. As well as that, the lessons that I weren't set in were still in classes with other people from our school. And one more thing we did was a trip called Kingswood, where it's a residential done at the end of the first half term, where you get to meet a load of people in the year. And I think it's the basis of most friendships that are still on right now in year 11.
Thank you very much, Harry. And I think you can see quite clearly from what Harry said that we place a significant emphasis on making friends and forming friendships through our transition programme. Now, our second question is very much at the forefront of many of our minds at the moment in the current climate. So I'm going to ask Miss Harrison to answer this one. How do you look after students' mental health and well-being in school?
Thank you so much, Amber. And yes, what a perfectly pitched question. Thank you to the guests who have put that one forward this evening. For me, it is about putting that at the centre of our school. I do genuinely believe that for a young person to be successful and to be able to thrive in their learning, they need to be well, healthy and happy in mind and body. That can only come from being in a place where they feel nurtured, where they feel safe and secure. For us, therefore, mental health and wellbeing is an intrinsic part of our school, the way in which we have approached and built our school community through its structures, through its routines, through our approaches to assemblies and pastoral times, through the priority that we give to student leadership. And my students feel very strongly about mental health and wellbeing and are genuinely supporting me in taking that work further forwards. But it's also about ensuring that young people are able to articulate their thoughts and feelings, that they have the experience to explore how they are feeling and to begin to develop resilience around those feelings and a comfortable sense of confidence that it's okay not to feel okay sometimes, but it's what we do about it and how we approach it that is important, that it is not without any possible solutions. We do this chiefly through our provision for workshops, guest speakers, and our lifelong learning curriculum, which students enjoy every week. But of course, for some young people, more bespoke support is needed. We do this through our counselling provision and also through liaising with external professionals if that's necessary. But for me, chiefly, it's about ensuring that the child is at the very heart of all that we do. For if they are cared for, if they know that the adults around them are ready and want to care for them, that they will be happy, well, and successful.
Thank you very much, Ms. Harrison. And linking on really nicely to that and the child being at the heart of everything, Rosie, can I come to you and reflecting on your experiences over the last 4 to 5 years, how would you say that Archer has shaped you to become the person that you are today?
Well, Archer's done so much for me, and it's pushed me and it's taught me to push myself. And by doing so, it's taught me to take every opportunity that's given to me so that I can get the best experience I can out of life and just out of things as well. It's made me a lot more confident in myself and my ideas, which has pushed me to do what I want rather than listening to what other people want me to do, which has really helped shape me.
Thank you so much, Rosie. I think you've got some wise messages for our children watching tonight. Now, Miss Harrison, we obviously continue to be in uncertain times. So what will you do if there is another lockdown, and how will you make sure that learning isn't impacted?
Thank you. I think if I was watching this open evening, I might ask myself that question. What's absolutely pivotal and has been to me throughout this very complex and challenging year of 2020 is that we always continue to hope for the very best in terms of our school planning and provision, but that to do that well, we must also prepare for the worst, and that may be a series of very complex and challenging circumstances. We learnt a great deal through this first lockdown experience. We managed, as I mentioned in my talk, to hold on to our school and to protect the education of our young people. But should things happen again, we would go directly to our contingency plan, which is a fully written document approved by our governing body and which is worked on collaboratively with senior leaders and with middle leaders. That means that we would swiftly move to our virtual school, should that be for the whole cohort or for different year groups or individual groups of students. Our priority would be on virtual lessons and children receiving that time with their teachers teaching their direct curriculum. But it would also be about ensuring that their enrichment programme continues, that their tutor time and their assemblies continue. For me, one of my greatest learnings from our previous lockdown was the need of exposure for socialisation for our young people, and that many of them felt, understandably, very isolated from their peers, and that it was through things such as tutor time and enrichment that they had connectivity with one another. So I think, should we need to explore that again, that I would very much focus on both the informal and formal opportunities of school life. We informally enjoy one another's company and time to be together at school all of the time. That didn't really happen during lockdown. So how would we make sure that we balance that? But also it would be about assessments and ensuring that young people can see and feel the progress that they are making in their learning, even if their teachers feel a little bit further away. So holding as much of that normality of the school calendar and the way in which things work, I think is healthy and helpful for everybody.
Thank you very much, Ms. Harrison. And on the same topic, I wonder if anybody watching is wondering how lockdown might have felt as a student at the Archer. So, Rosie, what were your experiences of lockdown and how did you find our school provision during this time?
Well, I think that going into year 11 is obviously a scary thing anyway, going into your GCSE year, but the Archer really made it feel not that difficult and not as stressful as it would be otherwise, especially in the current climate. So we carried on with our online lessons going the entire way through, so our normal timetable, as well as still having all our assessments that would set us up for the oncoming year. But school also made sure that we still had our extracurricular activities with enrichment, so things such as female leads and our Diversity and Inclusion Society still ran.
That's lovely. Thank you very much. Now, I wonder if anyone's thinking ahead to that September of Year 7. So I'm going to direct this question to Miss Ogbasalese. From your experience, Miss, as a head of Year 7, what advice would you give to parents about supporting their child through the transition process?
I would say that the best thing to do is to ensure that you are taking an active role and engaging with every stage of the transition process, which starts very early during the spring term of Year 6. Students will have a range of opportunities. These will go from taster lessons to induction workshops, this does require a level of organisation and support with that. It's also important to ensure that you are registering and taking advantage of these opportunities so that students have the opportunity to develop confidence, but also so that they're able to get familiar with their new grounds and develop relationships with teachers, but also friendships, which is such a significant part of school life.
Thank you very much. And I would flag our summer school as a key part of the transition process where those friendships really do start to solidify. Now, a really, really good question. So thank you to those of you who have submitted one on this. Miss Harrison, how do you handle cases of bullying in school?
Thank you very much. I would say first and foremost that it is about understanding that children fall out with one another, that they will be unkind to one another, however much we might not want them to be, that there will be spits and spats. Much of that is the normal part of growing up, and that with support and kindness from home and school working together, these things can be resolved quickly. But of course, it can become more serious. We take a zero tolerance approach here to any form of bullying, and I have a very simple marker for myself. If what a child is feeling and describing is making them feel sad, unhappy, uncomfortable, I often resonate that with that funny feeling in your tummy, then for me that means the behaviour of another young person towards them is unacceptable. Pivotal here, of course, is us knowing about how this young person is feeling and what they are experiencing. And we very much operate on a talk culture here at school, and we explore that through our assemblies, lifelong learning curriculum and various workshops. The importance of talking about how we're feeling. And I would urge any Archer parent and child never to let something linger. For once we know about it, we can work together to resolve it, however complex that scenario. Should we need to, we would use our school behaviour policy. We would consequence and sanction the behaviour of a young person that has been unacceptable towards another. But we would also be seeking to find a resolution, to find a way in which both children or groups of children can find a way to come through and out the other end, so that they can get back to enjoying their schooling, enjoying what is their privilege to be here and their enjoyment to be here. It's their school, but it's working together. It's a shared commitment between home and school. It's listening to one another. It's finding a solution that works for everybody.
Thank you. Now, obviously, children that join our school join us with a wide range of needs, English as an additional language or with SEND. So, Miss Harrison, how do you cater for children with additional needs in the classroom?
Thank you, Miss Martin. A school as diverse as ours has children with many, many different needs. If I talk about additional needs first of all, and then I'll move on to English as an additional language. But if as a parent you are aware that your child does have some form of additional need, I would urge you to reach out to us at the earliest opportunity so that we can get to know you and talk to you about the provision that your child might need, and if we are able to meet that here and to enable your child to flourish within our school community. So please, if that is you, do reach out to my Senko, Mr. Latter, and talk to us about the position your child is in and what you feel they would need to be successful.
Thank you very much.
Also one of my assistant head teachers and a part of the senior team, and I think that should give you a sense of the seniority that I give that role. We have a significant team of learning practitioners who are all focused on different areas of SEN, and underneath that group a series of teaching assistants there to support children, mostly in the classroom, working alongside subject specialist teachers on differentiation. but also, of course, on additional activities such as interventions, small group work, specialised provision that a child may need to be able to explore school fully and make the very best of every opportunity to feel happy and to feel confident. For a child with English as an additional language, then similar support is in place. We are a richly diverse school community with young people from all over the world, and that is such a special part of our school community. But should your child still be new to learning English as an additional language, then support is available through school through our designated teachers. This is an area of our school work that has grown significantly over the past year. But what is key is that your young person is able to secure their language skills as quickly as possible so that they can access their curriculum, feel comfortable in their new community, and make good friends.
Thank you very much, Ms. Harrison. And can I just say to everybody watching tonight that there's a lot of additional information on our website if you would like to find out more. Now, homework is something that comes up a lot, and I have a lot of conversations with young people in Year 6 about what this looks like for a Year 7. So can I go to Ms. Ogbaselese and ask, what does homework look like if you're in Year 7, and how does Archer support students with it?
In Year 7, we do take a staggered approach to introducing students to homework so that it is supportive of establishing good routines and good habits around home learning. So we start with homework in core subjects. We then later build on that by adding the humanities and languages subjects. And then by the October half term, students will have homework across all subjects. Our homework policy will follow our curriculum model. So that means that homework is differentiated so that there is challenge and stretch, but there is also support. In taking this approach, we aim to be supportive, but also ambitious for all of our students.
Thank you very much. Now, I wonder if any of you sat in the audience tonight are wondering what might happen to you when you leave Archer and where you might go next. So, Harry, can I ask you, what are your plans for after your GCSEs?
So for me personally, I want to use the partnership that our school and Woodhouse College has to the best of my advantage. For me, I'd want to do law, history and politics in Woodhouse College or any other sixth form. As for, going on after A-level, even to university, it's pretty scary to think about, even if I'm into Year 11. But I'm really looking forward to the next stage of my education and that stage.
Thank you, Harry. And can I ask the same question to Rosie?
So yes, as Harry said, I'm really looking forward to using the partnership we have with Woodhouse College to my advantage, because I know that they do specialise in the sciences, which I would love to take: biology, chemistry, English literature and history, which would lead me on into the world of medicine. The Archer has actually really helped me with my ambition to become a doctor, such as a conference we went to earlier this year, to a pre-med conference, where it just set me up for my next steps in the future.
Lovely. Well, it sounds like both of you've got some bright steps ahead of you. Now, Miss Harrison, if I could ask, aside from the pathways, the traditional pathways to A-levels and Woodhouse, what other pathways do our young people take following Year 11?
Thank you. I'm always so impressed by the rich variety of options that our young people take, following the support that they receive at school through our employability programme and through our head of vocational studies here at school. We have a host of opportunities and open evenings at school where we bring a variety of colleges and apprenticeship providers in to speak to our students. I think one of my favourites in recent months has been our young person who has gone on to an apprenticeship with Mercedes. Sounds so exciting. They have so much ahead of them. Barnet and Southgate College is probably the most popular vocational provider, and of course one of our partnerships, with engineering being very popular there, and also the arts. But also the Ada Lovelace College, which specialises in computer sciences, is increasing in its popularity. And the London Screen Academy, only a year old, but a number of our young people have truly enjoyed the benefits of that opportunity and its links with industry.
Thank you very much. Now, our final question then is for Ms. Harrison. So how do you ensure a diversity of heritage, ethnicity and gender is included in your school curriculum? A really great question, I think.
I have to agree. What a great question. I'm not sure that that would have been asked of me a few years ago. And I think the fact that it is says a lot about the times that we are living in and the community in which our school is. For me, it is incredibly important that our school community reflects the diversity within it and also the diversity within the wider world. that our children are given access to a curriculum that will enable them to make the world a more equal place and to celebrate diversity as they grow older. They are the change makers of the future. I certainly know from my meetings with my Year 11 Student Voice team and also with the Year 9 Prefect team that it's something that they feel passionately about. And that in itself really resonates with me. I think the curriculum is pivotal here. Of course, we have a more extended curriculum than a normal school would have through our thematic learning, which all students study, but also all of our students study citizenship as well. This gives them the floor to explore topics beyond the conventional curriculum. For example, in Year 7 and 8, students would study the topic of books that changed the world, access to such a variety of inspirational people and positions of heritage from around the world, but also the topic of protest, looking at women's rights and evolution over time. In citizenship, of course, we explore the migration and development of the world and the conflicts that people have faced as a result of it. As a history and citizenship teacher myself, something I'm very proud of. But it's also about exploring the texts that we study in subjects such as English and drama. And in fact, we're doing a full review of those texts at the moment. Parents may be aware that the exam board set the GCSE texts, and there is limited diversity there at present, something that I feel strongly needs to change. However, we have much more flexibility in our wider curriculum, and our students and their parents and staff have been responsible for building our new curriculum reading lists in literature moving forwards. We also have an additional literature unit in Year 8, where our students can explore books that are more far-reaching than those on the national curriculum. Again, something to be celebrated. But I would come back to the voice of my students being pivotal there, to them supporting and enabling the curriculum to truly represent what they feel is important and give them the opportunities that they need to shape our world moving forwards. And I look forward to how that springboard that we're in at the moment is going to continue to take us even further forward.
Thank you very much. Now, that does bring us to the end of our questions tonight, but I wanted to give a few quick answers to some questions that have been sent in. So in Year 7, we have 6 tutor groups across the year group. In terms of catering and food that's available on site, we've got a special catering company that provides cooked food on both sites. So you can have a hot lunch from them or a cold lunch option. And we do have science and computer labs at both sites. Now, thank you so much to everybody who submitted questions in advance and throughout tonight. Any questions that we haven't reached, please can I ask you to reach out to our website. If you've got any additional questions, though, please do email our office and we will get back to you. I will now hand over to Miss Harrison. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Martin. And thank you to all of you prospective parents who have joined us for this open evening this evening. It's been my great pleasure to give you a sense of our school this evening and the prospect that it may offer you and your child. I hope that you have enjoyed it and felt a sense of our school. I know that it is incredibly important for you to be informed about our admissions criteria. We are a popular school. We are very heavily oversubscribed, something we're very proud of, but I'm also conscious can make it stressful for parents considering application. We do have priority admissions for N2, N3 and NW11, and I would encourage all families to look carefully at our website. I shall show the addresses for the different pages shortly for details about that criteria. But if at any point you are unsure about what that means for you and your child's application, please do not hesitate to contact my admissions officer at school, who will be delighted to help you. We have put together a series of small films about our school, which I hope will further add to your sense of feeling about what our school community is all about. They are available on the website, and the links again will be shown at the end of this presentation. We are operating a series of opportunities for parents to visit the school in a socially distanced way from Monday. If you would like to book a tour of the school, again, there are details on the website, or please call the school office. I hope that I'll be able to show you around. That's something that, again, I hope will be very helpful to you as you make these important decisions. I hope that I might welcome you to the Archer Academy in September 21 or beyond. Anything truly is possible here at our school, and I hope that you have seen and felt that this evening. Thank you so much. Good night.